Hello, my name is Isaac, and today I'm here at the beautiful Randolph County Lake to explore the trails a bit and to show you what this place looks like in winter. So without further ado, let's get started. Randolph County Lake is a 65-acre man-made lake that was finished in 1961. The lake is stocked with walleye, saugeye, channel catfish, red ear, and bluegill sunfish. They even stock it with rainbow trout at the end of the year. Largemouth bass, green sunfish, bullhead, and crappie are also present. Alright, so I think I'm ready to get started. I'm starting here at Shelter 1. I'm doing the loop that's on all trails. I don't have much time to do it. It's over 4 miles and I have less than 2 hours before the sun sets. So it's gonna be a little bit of a rush. It's gonna be a little bit of fun. We're gonna see what it's like. It's beautiful out here. And to make this a little bit more interesting, I've decided to challenge myself by just wearing sandals. So I'm sure, I suffer for my art a little bit. I do have socks in case of emergencies. If I get too cold, then I have those available. I can always turn back. It's usually not a problem for me though. We're gonna get to the trailhead and see how things go. Yeah, so unlike Kincaid Trail, as you could see in another video that I did, this place actually has some signage and a little bit of helpful information. But like I said before, I'm actually going to use all trails this time, so I have a little bit better of an idea where I am this time as opposed to last time. Hopefully it goes a little bit smoother and you guys will be able to see it. All right, it's a few minutes in and I'm starting to feel pretty cold already. As always, this is more of a don't try this at home, do as I say, not as I do sort of thing, because it's a little bit more fun. But yeah, pretty cold. My feet are starting to get covered in snow, kind of an interesting plan. Right off the bat, we're greeted with some very interesting stone area. I would assume this is normally a creek that has some flow to it, but there's not much flow today. A lot of the trails here in Randolph County State Recreation Trail are also equestrian. So if you're into riding horses and stuff, then these might be the trails for you. Some of the campgrounds are also equestrian, so you can take your horses there, as far as I understand. And yeah, there's a booking website for campsites, so they have pretty good resources. For the most part, I'd say they got that covered. So unfortunately, I had to entirely give up on the Barefoot plan. I am not quite acclimated to these cold temperatures just yet. We had a crazy swing in temperature. But something I do want to show you is if you're ever in a situation where you're missing something, like even proper footwear, take good stock of what you have with you. In my case, I did something a little bit crazy, but I went ahead and took the plastic bag that I was carrying to pick up trash with, and I broke it into pieces and I covered my feet with it so that my feet won't get wet, since I just put dry socks on from my bag. I always carry a pack of dry socks whenever I have a really high risk of them getting wet. But this is kind of what that looked like. And hopefully that will protect me a little bit better, keep my feet a little bit warmer throughout the time, because I definitely don't want to get frostbite, and I'm definitely never recommending, do not try this at home. I've done it before, and usually it's further into winter where my feet are better acclimated. I'm not quite ready, but yeah, there's a beautiful waterfall here that you get to see. Here's some more cool area, more of these interesting rocky creeks to see. It's beautiful, especially here in the snow. So far the plastic bags are holding up really well. Can't say that I recommend doing that, but it seems to be working. Part of the stuff is just training. There were some pretty interesting articles on how you can actually acclimate your body to different temperatures. And I find that extremely useful for cold weather and hot weather, because if you're more acclimated to hot weather, you can definitely do a lot more whenever it does get hot. Obviously still being very careful not to get overheated or anything like that, but you can handle it a lot better. And in the cold weather, obviously being very careful not to get frostbite or anything, but you can handle that much better if you train for it. So, I don't know, it might be a little bit weird, but I enjoy training for stuff like that. It's so weird, it just feels like this wasn't meant to be. You've got all these green leaves and fruits on the plant still, because yesterday it was considerably warmer, and none of us would have imagined that it was going to snow. In fact, the forecast was only a dusting, and instead we got a few inches. It's crazy. So I just saw a bunch of black vultures back there roosting, and that was incredible. I'll show some clips of that, but yeah, you never know what you'll see on these hikes. Black vultures are actually really interesting birds if you ever get a chance to read up on them. They don't have a lot of the abilities that turkey vultures have, and they actually use turkey vultures to their advantage in a lot of ways, because turkey vultures have incredible senses of smell, and they can find prey easily. The black vultures are smaller, and so when a turkey vulture finds prey, a bunch of black vultures will come and kind of kick the turkey vulture out and take the prey from them. But it's interesting to see how that dynamic works, how they sort of coexist, but they're also sort of competing. They also don't have a voice box in the same way that a lot of other creatures do, so they make some really weird noises. I'll show some footage of some babies that we found one time. Yeah, incredible creatures. There's all kinds of stuff out there that just incredible to experience. So I'm getting pretty cold. As you can see, I don't have gloves or anything. I've got 2 layers of shirts on, and I have a pair of sweatpants on. As I've said before in other videos, and will say in the future, always bring a buddy, never hike alone, even though I do it sometimes. I will make a video about that in the future. Along this hike, there have been some challenges, as you always have with snow. Some spots have snow buildup, so there's just no sure footing in certain places, so always keep that in mind. Sometimes I think maybe I should be hiking with somebody just to tell me what's not a good idea. I hope you guys enjoy the crash course of what not to do experience. All right, so this might be a famous last words moment, but I went ahead and cut to a different trail because I was looking at the map and it looks like this trail will be a bit shorter, which is something I think I desperately need right now because it's quickly getting dark. And you know how the last video went? Apparently I'm very good at not planning things very well, so we'll see. All right, so that worked. It looks like I cut about a mile off of my trail. You can do that too if you want to. Just make sure you're looking at the map so that you know where you're actually going, like I was fortunately this time. But yeah, sunset is in 20 minutes, so I do not have a lot of time. It's definitely gonna get cold, so hopefully it won't be entirely a repeat of last time. I love how horrific this looks. Just like a couple of feet covered in trash bags, walking along the road. We do have fun. It looks like, if I understand it correctly, it actually has you use the road for a little ways of the trail, which is kind of interesting. Some trails around here are like that though. Sometimes they just don't have the ability to cut a bunch of trails everywhere. So yeah, we're just gonna go along the road then. I feel very safe doing this. There's very little traffic and nobody's going fast. But depending on when you come here, that could vary. I've seen barely any campers. I only saw one hunter while I was on the trail, and that was a little scary, turning my back on somebody with a weapon, but he didn't shoot me, so that's good. The last hike that I did, I saw nobody. So that's one of the great things about Illinois parks, especially out here where you're further away from the city, is it's very nice. Sometimes you just get a really good experience where you can really enjoy the serenity, the peace of nature by yourself, which I think is pretty cool. Here we are, just walking on the road. Like I said, a lot of trails in southern Illinois are like this. A lot of parks don't really have, I don't know if it's they don't have the resources or they don't have the request for it, but I would recommend doing this. Instead of doing a loop, just go down one way, come back. It'll look a little bit different, at least because you're from a different perspective. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that this trail doesn't have more lake area, more of just a woods trail, which is cool. There may also be better places to go. There's a lot of trails here. I just kind of chose the first one that I saw, and it looks like I made it back to Shelter 1, and it's even still daylight. Unbelievable. You would think this isn't even one of my videos. All right, guys, I think that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks so much for watching. I can't believe we failed the challenge almost immediately, but you know, that's okay. These things happen. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe. If not, there's buttons for that. And of course, happy hiking.